Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Nights with Ping coming to you live from Melbourne, Australia on this Monday night for you, Tuesday afternoon for me. If you didn't know, as far as I know, Trisha's not doing a show today, so we can stay on for as long as we like and hang out. Um, I wanted to say hello to Four Sons' mum, who was here earlier, Laura T. Hey, Laura T. Diane Marie is here. Snap Crackle Pop is here too. Marlene Clausen, Woos is here. Nana Lana. Just trying to see who else is here. Oh, Nana Lana's just saying she doesn't have Twitter to see. I often post in the community tab on this channel too. Elizabeth, hey Betty C, how are you? Sienna is here. Nancy S and I Hate Mornings. Everyone's starting to show up. I Moonlight Views here. So to get off the show started, I'm going to show you something. I went on the internet this week and I found this. If I can find it, hold on. I want to know what you all think. Hold on. If I can find it, maybe I can't. I thought I bookmarked it, but no, here we go. I found it. All right. What is this? What shape is this? While we wait and get started, what is this supposed to be? It's a shape of what? Because I don't know. I hope someone in the audience might know, but I have no idea. So if someone in the comments, I want to hear a suggestion from all of you while we're waiting for everyone to get in here and sit down. A fish, Woo says a fish. It could be a puffer fish. A puffer fish, maybe. Could be. A fish. I don't see a fish, but someone said, I heard someone say it could be an ice cream sundae with a banana. Robin Lane says it looks like a Betty Jean. A mushroom with a tail, Marilyn Landis says. Okay. Hey, Shoal Huffman. G'day. How are you? Marlene Clausen says an apple. All right. Maybe. I actually don't know. There is no there is no answer. I'll show you in a minute. There is actually no answer. Um, so when we scroll down here, people have decided to make their own answers to it. Someone thought it was a rose. Someone thought it was a funny looking bird. Someone thought it was a hand holding a banana. Someone thought it was an ice cream sundae with a banana. Banana is very common. It does sort of look like a banana. I think someone said here it looks like a snake, a cobra. It kind of does look like a cobra when you do it like that. Someone said it looks like a bird with a knife, a murder bird. I mean, a murder bird? A knife carrying bird? Okay. Someone said it looks like this. Is that like from Archie Comics or something? Someone said it looks like a Grim Reaper with a with the this thing, the wraith. Is that what it's called? Yeah. A cute ghost, an angry grandma, and a snail. But there is no answer. The person who owns this cookie cutter has no idea what it could be. They don't know. They still don't even look. Someone says it's a pumpkin, an octopus. I'm going to choose octopus. I always choose octopus for anything. Someone said it could be an elephant, like an elephant face, a moon and the stars. No one knows. See, no one has any idea. So no one has any idea. It's not a. They just don't know. It's obviously something. You know, I guess when they bought it, they lost whatever it was supposed to be. Probably something really specific for like some sort of thing. Who says it could be anything you want it to be? It could be. Fluffy Muffin says everyone just failed the ink blot picture test. That's right. You're all criminally insane. Moonlight View says, "Dang, what is it? No one knows. Even the owner of the cookie cutter has no idea what it is." So, yeah. No one actually knows. A cornucopia, Laura T says it could be a cornucopia. Could be. What is this? This is from my friend Amy D. Amy D, what's up? What are you sending me? Oh, she sent me the Ghost Train Fire documentary. Amy D, yes, I saw that when it was on the Channel 9, Channel 7 last year. It's very, very good if you haven't seen it. All right, let's get to some true crime after that. There's been a few things going on. Now, I know everyone loves Erin Patterson updates, and she's selling one of her properties, her holiday home, because she apparently needs money for her legal fund. And I thought that was interesting. And we'll go through some of the details. Hold on. Just trying to find the correct one. Yeah, here we go. Uh, Not like that. There we go. All right. Hey guys, how are you? Good to see you. I'm wearing black today, which is a change. How's it going? Um, Yeah, so it says here, accused mushroom lunch chef Erin Patterson lists her $1 million holiday home up for sale. It was she was arrested on November 2nd. She's been charged with the 3 counts of murder, 5 counts of attempted murder, and she's listed one of her properties for sale. Oh my god, what a tragedy for her. It says here, Erin Patterson, the woman accused of 3 murders at a mushroom lunch, has listed one of her properties for sale. It's this two-story townhouse in Mount Waverly. Apparently, it was placed on the market on October 27th, 6 days before her arrest. And I find that so weird. The same that she had a party the night before her arrest. I just wonder if she knew it was coming. And she was like, well, I'm going to need money for my legal fund and I need to say goodbye to all my friends. There's Erin Patterson. So she had a party and put the property on the market. Maybe the arrest came a bit quicker than what she thought it was going to be. It says here that they expected to sell for between $960,000 and just over $1 million at auction on November 18th. That is this weekend. That is quite a fast auction. That's 2 or 3 weeks since you listed it. It is a quick auction. Normally they like to build up some time to get people to, interest in it. Um, yeah. I'm interested to know what you guys think about that. The fact she listed it for sale only a couple of weeks before she was arrested and charged. And the fact that she had that party the night before she was arrested, I find that very interesting. Wu says she's got a very high-ranking lawyer. Can you imagine how much he charges? But do you think she had him on retainer since July, or do you think she only just retained him recently? I know she had lawyers like earlier on. We know that we saw them come out to the property, but I can't imagine they were just charging her millions of dollars to write a letter. So Nana Lana says, "What is her job description, Ping?" Pretty sure she's just a stay-at-home mom. Sorry, that's really poor wording. Sorry about that. Not just a stay-at-home mom. She is a stay-at-home mom. Sorry about that. That's wrong wording. Just implies that it's like something not worth anything. Like it's lowly, and that's the wrong wording. Shouldn't use that. Shouldn't use it in that situation like that. Stay-at-home moms do great stuff, and keep households in order and get kids to places, and do a lot of work, unpaid work. So insightful one's like, great save, Ping. Yeah, that was a good save. Um, I don't think I have an a thing for her. I know she worked at one point because she was what'd she do? Hold on. Yeah, that's right. She was an air traffic controller at one point in the early 2000s, and she was considered very abrasive. People didn't like working with her, although she had some fans at her work that liked her. But I cannot see what else she has done since she got married. Yeah, I don't see anything else. Let's check the Herald. Between February and November 2001, she went on to work for Tullamarine Airport before an abrupt departure in 2002, and that's it. Yeah, I don't see any other job description for her. Yeah, she must have just, stayed at home with the kids or something. That's okay. Um, Scholl said lawyers are expensive, at least in the US. Oh, yeah, she's going to need a huge fund if she's gonna end up going to trial. It's gonna cost so much money, like $500,000 or something like that. Fluffy Muffin said her husband had the money. I think he did before her mum died. When her mum died, she inherited quite a bit of property and quite a bit of money. So I think at that point she became quite wealthy on her own right. Not she didn't need her husband's money at that point. She actually was quite well off. I think her mum left her a beachside property plus cash. So she had quite a lot of significant wealth that was inherited to her. Robert Lane says Hidden True Crime did a great analysis of what's available on the case this past Saturday. What do you mean? What's available on this case? Don't know what you mean, Robin. You mean what up until this point? Is that what you mean? Sherry runs late says I'm here and there every night, usually just listening. Hey Sherry, good to see you. Glad you could make it. I think we've covered the Aaron Patterson case pretty good. I've done more hours on this case than probably any other true crime creator. I think I've done in excess of 25 hours worth of shows on Aaron. And I mean, I think I was one of the first to follow it. So, I mean, my knowledge is pretty good. I mean, I don't know everything, but yeah, we've been following it since day one because it just sounded weird. When it happened, it was like, three people were in hospital after eating some sort of weird, lunch at a property and then they ended up dying. It just came across as bizarre. Oh, psychoanalysis. Okay. Well, I can't do psychoanalysis unless you want me to. I mean, I can. I can do it. It just won't mean anything. I mean, I can try. I can only try Robin Lane. That's all I can do. I'm just joking. I'm not going to do any psychoanalysis of Aaron. Um, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, we're going to follow it all the way up until the Supreme Court. I hope to go to the trial next year. We've been doing a bit of research on it recently. Um, Me and Mrs. Ping have been sitting down and doing a bit of research about what we're going to need to get like in order. Do we need any special clearances or anything like that to go to go to the Supreme Court? I'm not sure yet. We've put out some emails to the Supreme Court to see if we need anything, but haven't heard back anything yet. Hopefully soon. Robert Lane says, "You were the first and definitely the most informative." No, it's all right. I'm just joking with you. I am happy that we started with it. See, my voice has gone crackly again. Too many shows being last night. Uh, Hold on. There we go. We're back. Uh, Sherry runs late says, "Heard about this case first from Ping." Yeah, that's okay. I'm only joking. Um, Inside for one says, "Oh, that's awesome." What did Woo say? Ultrasounds in goats in a farm in the US. Woos, you lead an interesting life. You really do. Yeah, you lead a fulfilled life of goat watching. That's an interesting. I know Trish likes to watch the gorillas. Okay, so that's the only update I have about her. Just that she's obviously getting ready for a legal battle. Like I said the other night, I do wonder what is going on in her head in a jail cell. I really do. I wonder if she thinks this was all not worth it. Does she think I'm going to get away with it? Does she think she'll be found not guilty somehow? I don't know. Personally, I think she's going to get a huge sentence. I think she'll get possibly 25 years plus. I really do. I think the police are going to bring a strong case, and that's why they waited so long to put all the, I's and T's and crossing all the dots, and I think it's gonna be, quite a heavy sentence if she can get all of it. Cheryl Huffman says, "Please go to the trial. We will help you get there." Yes, I'm definitely working on it for sure. We have been doing a bit of background checking on certain things to see. I didn't know if you needed an ID pass or something like that, but we're looking into it. Hey Jojo, good to see you. Uh, Two Broke says, "How old are her children?" I have that. Hold on, I had that. So she has two children. It should be in this article. Okay, she has 2 children. Okay, I thought this had their ages in it. Alright, that's the wrong one. Here, maybe this one? Come on, links. Just said she has 2 children. Why won't they tell us their ages in any of the documents? Hmm. Does Erin Patterson have yes, has 2 kids on yeah. It says the couple have 2 kids. Unfortunately, there isn't much information currently available about them. So maybe their ages have not been released at all? If you look at some of those photos where they did the drawings on the inside of the old house, the age of their drawings didn't seem all that old, and that was about 6 years ago? 3 hold on. Do you guys remember when this happened? I'll try and show you. Here. Remember this? And the children did this in a home. So their drawing skills don't look that advanced, right? They don't look like they're in high school or anything like that, so and that was where is it? When did they sell that home? 2019, I think? Yeah, see, look here, it just says Aaron Patterson, Simon Patterson, son, daughter. That's it. They don't even have an age or anything. Alright, I don't have a year for that property either. But that was a few years ago, and that's what it looked like this. Like this type of drawing where you would expect that from maybe like a 7, 8-year-old, maybe like a 6-year-old, something like that. Like not that old, right? So I don't know. Make your best guesses. Yeah, I'm guessing the kids went to go with their dad is what I'm suspecting. Wu says, I think the kids are around about nearly teenage years. That would make sense. I think this was taken a while ago. So if you added like 5 years on top, they might be like early high school or something like that, or just before high school, like 11, 12, 13, that type of age. Two Broke says, I couldn't do better. And I'm about the same age as Trish. I mean, I'm not the best drawing person either, but I just, this is sort of like the type of stuff that smaller kids do, in my opinion. Like primary school age. That's sort of what I was thinking. Yeah. So the thing, and I keep going back to this with Erin. It was this. This video was what did it for me. When she got out of the car and she kept talking about like me. It's hard on me. It's hard on me. I've had a hard week. It's been difficult. I can't see my friends and blah, blah, blah. And then she kept wiping her eyes. And it's the first thing I noticed where she kept touching her eyes, but no, there was no tears. She was just sort of making crying noises. That to me, it was the first thing that set me off about her because it reminded me of like cases I've seen in the US where people have pretended to be emotional or stuff like that, on camera or in interviews, and yeah, but that was that interview that initially turned me on to this and basically moved my mindset away from an accident, and it seems like a lot of people also had the same thought, so oh, hey, Penguin, good to see you. Alright, that's enough of Erin for tonight. We'll catch up on Erin, when she does something next year, probably. We have some other stories to catch up on, including this one about a cheese board. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not sure if you while I load up this next story, did you see this in the news? This woman apparently charged $7,000 for this wedding, uh, like food board thing, and she was like, "It was 7 grand," and people online were going crazy. You guys can all argue about that while I get another story. Hold on. One moment. I'm Steve Lookner. Breaking news, 1 minute. I'll be back. No, here we go. Now, I love animals, and I have this one up here sleeping. This was really sad. A 71-year-old hiker missing since August has been found dead in the Colorado mountains with his loyal dog, who miraculously survived 2 months in the wilderness by his side. Rich Moore and his white Jack Russell Finney had set out for a hike on August 19th to Blackhead Peak, located in the San Juan Mountains of southeast Colorado. The missing man's body was discovered by a local hunter on October 30 in the lower Blanco drainage basin. The hiking route to Blackhead's 25,000-foot mountain summit is approximately 3 miles with an elevation of 2,500 feet. The road to the peak is described as rough, rocky, and steep, but the last stretch is unmaintained social trail. The day after Moore's body was found, members from the Achuleta, Archuleta County Sheriff's Office and search and rescue were flown into the area to recover the victim. Moore's loyal dog, who miraculously survived, was transported to a local veterinary hospital and was later reunited with her family. 2 months the dog survived next to his dead body. I cannot believe that. There she is. There's the puppy dog. I don't understand, like, how did she eat food or how did she get water for 2 months? Man, animals are, amazing, and their loyalty is, like, unbreakable. Yeah, 2 months. I can't believe it. Yeah, stayed with the owner. I know, and I wanted to show you because I know we have a lot of animal lovers in the chat, but it's, I cannot believe how that would happen or how she would survive. But what a good dog, even in death, and she stayed with dad the entire time. There's a wanted poster of them both, and yeah, I wanted to show you. Look at the terrain though. You could easily, yeah, fall, you know, die out here, and you probably would never be found. It's so vast and so steep. Really, really crazy. But yeah, truly man's best friend, right? Truly man's best friend. All right, let's get on to some actual crime. I don't know what is going on with my things today. Sorry about this. I'm just trying to find it. Da da da. I'd be like Trish and do da da da. Yeah. California woman stabs boyfriend 100 times then stabs her own dog. Psychiatrist says cannabis is to blame, and her name is Bryn Spelcher, 32, from California, had only smoked pot 5 to 10 times. Audiologist stabbed herself with a bread knife after killing Chad Amelia, 31. According to expert witness, the violent act was the result of psychotic episode caused by cannabis. She was a dog lover, they said, and she is said to have smoked pot 5 to 10 times in her life, according to testimony heard in the trial that started last week in the Superior Court of California. Moments after taking 2 inhalations on the bong, a water pipe used for smoking marijuana, she began to feel unwell and started to hear voices in her head. There's a photo of her. After 2 puffs, the court heard that she then grabbed 3 knives from the kitchen, from the kitchen block, hurled them at Mr. O'Melia before stabbing him on every part of his body, leaving fatal wounds in his heart, lungs, and vital arteries through his neck. She then stabbed her dog and began repeatedly driving an 8-inch bread knife into her own face and neck. It sounds bizarre, right? The suggested change. Uh, the former audiologist was originally charged with second-degree murder. However, the district attorney has petitioned to make it involuntary manslaughter. The suggested change, which could help reduce the time in custody from 25 years to 4, was triggered by testimony from a top forensic psychologist or psychiatrist who claimed her crimes were sparked by cannabis-induced psychosis. I mean, it says here she was described as being good character. Ah, damn it. Hold on. We're back. There we go. Yeah, described being good character, enjoyed helping others battling hearing loss, almost becoming deaf at a young age herself. Wow. Cannabis is legal in 24 states, with Ohio becoming the latest to give it the green light. It says here it's well established that high potency THC that makes you high can cause serious mental health problems such as psychosis and schizophrenia. Those using high strength versions are up to 5 times more likely to face a psychotic disorder, a study has found. I don't know what to think. Do you think that she really had no mental health issues before this? It was a one time thing where it affected her so badly that she stabbed her own dog? I know, right? It doesn't make a lot of. Hey, Danny Mitchell. Danny Mitchell, our celebrity. How are you? Yeah, I don't really get it, but it seems to me like wouldn't she have some sort of something previously in her history? You know, some mental health issue or some history with psychosis or schizophrenia. I just don't. There you go. There's a photo of her when she was arrested. Look at her neck. Look at all the wounds. Like her neck is so swollen. Is there another photo? Hold on. That's the person that she killed. There's a few photos of him. Where's the other photo of her? It's not showing it. There's another photo of her, and you can see her neck, and you can just see how swollen. I guess no, doesn't show you, but you can just see. Like, look at that. Just all the wounds she did that to herself with a bread knife, and she stabbed her own dog. They're saying that because she stabbed her own dog and was a known animal lover, that should be given. That should be, sort of taken as evidence that she wasn't of right mind. Now, there's a description of what she saw. Hold on. And if I can find it, I will tell you about it. She said she said she had an immediate negative reaction and that She thought she was dead. She had an out of body experience. She could see her own dead body and she could hear voices. Emergency room doctors doing CPR, her family, other voices, unknown voices, telling her to bring herself back to life. To bring herself back to life, she would have to kill Chad O'Melia. Suffered stab wounds all over his body, including to the heart, lungs, carotid artery in his neck, each possibly proving fatal. She said she had immediate negative reaction to the marijuana in the bong and that she only took a few puffs, but told O'Melia she didn't feel anything. This led him to respond with a promise of getting something more intense. He then gave her more something that was a stronger, um, like a stronger marijuana, and then she had the immediate negative reaction. In pretrial testimony, she is described as having gone to the bathroom, but starting to suffer blurry vision, being unable to breathe, and feeling like she was dying. It almost sounds like a panic attack because I get panic attacks and anxiety attacks, and that's sort of what it feels like. And it sort of like feels that way. Sherry Runs Late says, sounds like laced pot. It could be like PCP. Um, I do know they do that in the States where people do laced PCP, especially with weed and cigarettes. Maybe it's something like that. Oh, I want to thank my friend Siana. Siana sent in a donation right at the end of last night's show, and she said, "From Siana, I really appreciate all that you do for us. Thank you, Ping." No, thank you, Siana. I very much appreciate your support of the channel, and I'm glad I was able to fix it up tonight for you. Laura Thomas says more victim blaming again. Victim blaming? Who's victim blaming? Not me. I don't understand what Laura T is saying. I'm trying to figure out some sort of context. Your mama says those wounds on her face are superficial. They don't look super deep. Deep, don't do they? They look sort of shallow, but you are right. They don't look like. But I mean, still doing that to yourself is pretty weird. Where is that picture? Come here. Come on, photo. There. Yeah, they're not super deep. I mean, it was a bread knife. I don't know how much you expect to stab with a bread knife, but oh, Fluffy Muffin said the boyfriend gave her pot, so therefore it's his fault when it's not. No, I don't think it's his fault I don't think that means anything. You can give someone anything, like a drink of alcohol, and they could drink drive home, and it's not your fault. We all make decisions and do our own actions. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Apparently, her trial is underway, and you can follow it on some websites. If I can find, I had a link for it here. Bryn Spelcher trial. Da, da, da. Where is it? It's not being my friend tonight. I'll find the link and I'll put it in the description for you. I had it earlier with one that actually had more information. I'll find it for you. Your mama says she still needs to take responsibility. I agree for her actions. Um, your mama also says pot makes me paranoid. I don't like it. I agree. I don't smoke marijuana anymore because it makes me paranoid. And it didn't when I was younger, but when I got older into my 20s, I could just have one little bit, not a little bit, but like a whole joint or something, and it would make me a little off and a little edgy. So I just stopped smoking it because I didn't enjoy the feeling. But yeah, I don't know what they have these days. super, super, like, duper strong stuff. Four Sons' mum said those are not standard run-of-the-mill pot side effects. It has to be laced with something. A friend bought some from Hawaii and I got super paranoid and did not like the feeling at all. Yeah, me too. I haven't tried any more of the different strains or whatever, but whatever I've had recently makes me really paranoid. Hey Snap Crackle Pop, we have a missing man, Austin Goldsmith. Don't know the details. Yeah, did someone send that to me? Sounds familiar. We can have a look. Oh, University of Arkansas or Arkansas, as some people say. No, no one says that. Here, there's a little news thing. We can listen to it. It's not very long.
The University of Arkansas police are looking for a missing 29-year-old man. His name is Austin Goldsmith. He was last seen leaving the U of A campus on Wednesday. So take a look at your screen. This is what he looks like. 5'8", weighs about 175 pounds. Anyone with information, call the number on your screen.
There you go. It's a very quick briefing, wasn't it? That wasn't. I thought that might have been a bit longer. If I can find it, where is my. Everything's not working tonight, guys. The browser doesn't want to be my friend. Nothing. There we go. It just says here the University of Arkansas Police Department is searching for the missing 29-year-old man. Austin Goldsmith's parents were concerned when he didn't come home the night of Wednesday, November 8th. He hasn't returned any phone call, texts, or any messages, according to Captain Gary Crennan. Goldsmith isn't a student, but he had planned to attend a function at the student union that night, so his parents contacted the university. They were unable to find people who saw him at the event, but that's the last anyone. Oh, sorry. They were able to find people who saw him at the event, but that's the last anyone has seen of him. That's creepy. The fact that people did see him at the party, but then nothing? That's a bit strange. Let's see if this one has a better. A statewide bolo has been issued for a man last seen on the campus of the University of Arkansas. According to the university police, yeah, he went to the party on November 8th. He drives a maroon 2014 Honda Accord with Mississippi license plate PRE 9859, and that anyone with information is urged to call University of Arkansas Police Department 479-575-2222. And that's about it. That's all there is about him.
University of Arkansas Police Department is searching for a missing man. UAPD says Austin Goldsmith was last seen leaving campus on Wednesday. He was reported missing after not returning to his parents' home in Cave Springs. Now, according to police, he left his parents' home to attend an event at the Arkansas Union, but he's not a student or staff member of the university. Police say Goldsmith is 5'8" and weighs approximately 175 pounds. He drives a red or maroon 2014 Honda Accord with a Mississippi license plate.
Well, that was a chip show.
You are Locked On UCLA, your daily podcast on the UCLA Bruins.
All right, UCLA Bruins. Leave me alone. Yeah, that's really all there is to it. I'm sorry there's not more information about him. What's this one
of
say?
Transportation is pumping more than $650 million into funding 41 port projects across the U.S. And one of those ports will be built in Fort Smith along the Arkansas River.
The Slackwater Harbor will be
cannot
outside of
find-
the main river.
There we go. Don't know why they do that, and they have like 40 other bloody things that you can get to. Hold on, let me get you a story. There we go. I feel uncomfortable being that big on the screen. There we go. Yep, there we go. That's fixed. Let me see what you have to say. Fluffy Muffin says, once I felt a bit better. I spent the rest of my night on the loo with a bucket in my lap. What'd you do, my friend? Oh, a friend gave us Hawaiian seeds one night. I tripped out so much, I spent 4 hours generally thinking we were the victims of an ongoing armed robbery. My one and only experience. That sounds awful and terrifying. Wu says your cat is supervising you. Yeah, he's sort of asleep. It's sort of sleep supervising. He's doing it with his mind. He's dead asleep. He's just hanging out. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have about Mr. Goldsmith. If we hear anything else, I will let you know. But that's all I have. Let me find you the other story from tonight. If I can find it, we can go back in time. All right, no, we won't go back in time. I don't have an update about the LA freeway either, the one we spoke about last night. It looks like that's going to take a long time, a really long time. Here. So while I find this, I'm going to find my other story. I'm trying to give you guys a little bit in between that are not so terrible. And because people are saying, all you talk about is, R words and murder. And so here's something nice before we get into the next story. Meet the Houston doctor who's giving his young patients their own superpowers. So I'll give you the rundown of it and then you can see it. Dr. Matthew agrees with the Children's Memorial. Herman found a way to put smiles on the faces of his young patients and their families during a really scary time. So you can see a photo here. Basically, he operates on small children and their brains and their skull. And for a few days afterwards, they have to wear a compression cap on their head to make sure their head kind of like heals properly and doesn't swell too much. So to make it less scary for them, him and his team designed these superhero bandages and like caps for them to wear, and they can basically design whatever they want, and they could be like a minion or like a superhero, something like that. And apparently, it makes the kids. Here's a little kid with a minion one on his or her head, and it makes their hospital stay a little bit less scary for them, and makes it a little more familiar to them. So maybe we can see a little bit of it. It only goes for a
Scary,
minute.
especially for children. And that's why a Houston-based doctor is going above and beyond to make his patients smile.
Stephanie Whitfield takes us inside the operating room where children are being transformed into superheroes.
Dr. Matthew Greaves is a plastic surgeon who operates on children's skulls. But what he's doing here is not part of the job description.
Whatever we think we can mold or shape or create the three-dimensional structures we want, we're giving it a shot.
These head wraps help with swelling after surgery. It's a scary time for children and their parents, but it helps to wake up as their favorite Marvel character.
And they can distract the kids and the parents a little bit from the fact that you're in a hospital, from the fact that you had this really big surgery, by kind of just making it more fun and lighthearted and kind of getting them over the hump to recovery.
Dr. Greaves says his whole surgical team is into it now. Spider-Man has been a popular choice for patients. They've also turned children into bunnies. Ellie Patel opted to be a chicken for Halloween since she already got to be a minion at the hospital. It made the first few days after surgery a little easier.
And it's a lot of work for just a short window of time, but I think it's a big difference for those couple days that they have it.
The hard work shows. Stephanie Whitfield, KHOU 11 News.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice story for everyone to see. Hold on, my friend Laura sent me a link. What is it? Oh, okay. Thank you, Laura. I'll show you what she sent. Arson. likely caused the fire that damaged the vital arterial of Los Angeles freeway. Oh, so it was arson. It wasn't. Well, I mean, what else could it be? It could have been electrical, I guess. They're saying arson was the cause of the massive weekend fire that charred and indefinitely closed the vital section of the Los Angeles freeway, causing major traffic headaches for hundreds of thousands of commuters. Wow, the fire erupted Saturday in two storage lofts under Interstate 10. Construction materials combusted quickly and the fire grew. Yeah, the columns looked really like bad, like they wouldn't hold the weight of cars and trucks going across it. It looked very busted up. You can see it stretched from like here and then went straight under, and it hurt all the underside of this bridge. And that's what they're worried about, is that it won't be able to. Your bridges are huge in the US. We don't have any bridges this wide in Australia. What is this, like 4 lanes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8-lane freeway. We don't have anything like that here. I think we have like 6 lane, something like that. Nothing that big, but yeah, there you go. Arson. There's your update. Thank you, Laura. That's it could take a long time for that to be repaired and then people allowed back on it, which is a shame. It's causing a lot of headaches for people. Okay. Here's our other story. This woman looks like a nice older woman, doesn't she? Dress is fairly nice. She looks like she could be your auntie. Well, no. Well, she might be, but no. The accused serial wedding crasher maps out and steals from weddings in several states during 6-year crime spree, but remains free. They're saying a woman known as a serial wedding crasher has been released on bond after her most recent arrest for allegedly posing as a guest and stealing from a Mississippi ceremony. Sandra Lynn Henson, 57, was charged with theft, unlawful entry, and disturbing the peace for an incident on September 30 at the Lily Creek Farm in Beeden. The incident happened reportedly after Henson had already crashed numerous other weddings. Despite being on probation for similar past crimes in Mississippi, a judge allowed Henson to leave jail after paying $650 fine. She's scheduled to appear in court next year during a follow-up for the most current crimes. Henson was allegedly caught red-handed during the latest stint, which he was not invited to, by people attending the wedding. It's unfair, Lexi Butler, the 22-year-old bride, said after Henson crashed her wedding. She has robbed so many people of the precious time, memories, and gifts, but she never has to own up to her wrongdoing. I can't believe no one is taking this seriously. She's been doing this so much, and there's actually people from like 5 years ago who were robbed by her at their wedding that still don't have a resolution to their case that they lodged like 5 years ago about her. And when they saw her arrested now, they're very mad because they're like, we told you about her 5 years ago and you haven't done anything about it, and she's still continuing to offend. They're saying here Henson allegedly made off with tens of thousands of dollars in gifts, money, and property by blending in and stealing from wedding goers. She also apparently went into a room where women had put their bags for the ceremony, and she stole from their wallets and purses and took money out of it. So yeah, really horrible. I mean, on a day where you're supposed to trust people and have a great time together. Moonlight View says, what city, state? It says here, Lily Creek Farm in Beeden. Let's have a look where that is. Thought it said Mississippi, but just says a prison sentence in Mississippi. This week, Henson appeared in Pontotoc County Justice Court in northeast Mississippi. So, yep, Mississippi is where it has been happening. But apparently she's been to Tennessee and surrounding states as well and robbed people. Let's see if there's a little video that will tell us more.
She just can't help herself. A serial wedding thief has been caught in the act again.
She just happened to come to the wrong wedding.
Sandra Henson has just been arrested for stealing from a wedding right after she got out of prison for the same crime.
That is not an invited guest. She's accused of being a serial wedding thief.
We first told you about Henson in 2021. The bridal bandit was suspected of hitting at least a dozen weddings across 3 states. Surveillance video from churches and wedding venues captured her posing as a wedding guest, helping herself to envelopes of cash from the gift table, putting a real damper on what should have been the happiest day of these newlyweds' lives.
All of us just want her stopped.
They got their wish. Shortly after our report, Henson was caught, convicted, and sentenced to 5 years in prison, but she was released early. Then last weekend, as Lexi and Brady Butler were saying their I do's, Henson was up to her old tricks, sneaking around a back room. She was caught red-handed with cash stuffed in her bra by Lexi's sister, and they called the sheriff. We caught up with the newlyweds on their way back from their honeymoon.
It's a shock to everybody that this has just happened, but then they look up her name. That is when he was like, oh my goodness, she's been on Inside Edition. And so I realized, like, okay, this is not her first time.
Get this, police found a notebook in Henson's possession with a list of weddings that she presumably planned to target. How did she come by the information? Could it be from the knot.com? Every wedding on Henson's hit list is on the Knot, with the exact time and location of the ceremony. The so-called bridal bandit has been released pending her trial. Until then, let's hope she doesn't ruin any more weddings. You think this might be her final heist?
We hope so. We hope so.
They could make a movie out of her, and it could be like a like a romantic comedy about an older woman who goes around and steals from people's wedding, but eventually finds love and works to return her what she stole. Produced by Hallmark Channel, probably. Marlene Clausen said she gets around. She does. She seems to get to everyone's wedding. She's been to heaps of them. Your mama says, I wonder if she was ever married, maybe jealous. Maybe she had a traumatic experience at a wedding. Four Sons' mum says, what a racket she's got going. I know, right? She would have collected, people give a lot of money at weddings. She could have stolen hundreds of thousands over the years. Could have been a lot of money. And gift cards and things like that. Could have been all sorts of property missing. And maybe people didn't notice or were too scared to speak up, because the last thing you want to say to someone is, oh, we didn't get a gift from you and we noticed that we didn't get any money from you on our wedding. Like, that's embarrassing. You don't want to do that to a guest at your wedding. So maybe a lot of brides sort of just brushed it off and didn't want to accuse anyone or something like that. So I'm glad they sort of know who she is now, but it says here, a police affidavit signed by Austin Marsh shows she was booked into jail that night, and less than 2 days later, on October 2nd, she posted $2,000 in bond. Following her court hearing this week, Henson walked out of the courtroom clutching paperwork after Judge David Hall accepted her guilty plea in the case. And they're just saying she was free to go after paying the fine. She still remained free this Friday. So she is, probably had another wedding this weekend somewhere in Mississippi. I hope if you are in Mississippi having a wedding this weekend, that you keep an eye out for this woman. What? Oh, I thought it said, this person has been identified. Thank you, FBI, for your help. And I was like, FBI? But it says FB, as in Facebook. Whoops. Yeah, keep an eye out for her. She will take all your gift cards to Starbucks and that bean place, whatever they call it in America. Blue Moon says, I wonder how many toasters she took. She probably took the Louis Vuitton toaster that someone bought. Yeah, maybe Candy Williams. He might want to check his judge room. Maybe he's missing a gavel or two. Laura Thomas says, wonder if she's got any weddings planned until court. You know, maybe she should just become like a wedding planner if she loves being there that much. That way she can get paid and she doesn't have to steal from people. She's just misguided people. She's in the wrong profession. She has to be a wedding planner. Hey Beth B, how are you, my dear? Thank you for stopping by. I'm glad you're here in the chat. Beth B says, I'd guess she will not stop now either. No, I think she'll be back in court within weeks, probably. Hey, Emily Narb, good to see you. Glad you're here. She paid with stolen dollars, probably. Hey, gambler. Ping, the father of father-mother pair who kept their son in a box in a garage gets sentenced on Thursday. What are their names, gambler? Do you know? In the garage. There's been a few of those type of cases. So, is it Timothy and Tracy and Timothy Ferreter, both charged with aggravated child abuse and false imprisonment? Is that the one? That says in 2020. That's not now. Yeah, I don't know if that's the same one. 1 month ago, yeah, Timothy Ferreter is accused of child abuse of his adopted son for keeping him in an 8x8-foot box for hours every day. And that was a month ago. And that's when he rejected a plea deal. So it sounds like here.
Good afternoon, everyone. You may be seated.
Oh, we're not watching that. It's like an hour and a half. It says here a long-awaited moment took place in the trial of a Florida man accused of keeping his adoptive son locked in an 8x8-foot box in the family's garage. For an hour and a half, the young victim in the case testified that it was the first time he had spoken publicly about his life. To me, being locked in a room is dehumanizing, said the boy, now 16. Wow, poor kid. He said, the bed had no frame and no box spring. It was just a mattress on the floor. He added his parents often denied him food and water, and they left him in the box for hours at a time. He was only let out for school and for household chores. They had placed a bucket to use as a bathroom and a camera to watch him from the outside. Police learned about his living conditions when he ran away from home in January 2022. That was about 6 weeks after Timothy and Tracy and their children returned from living in Arizona. The boy testified the box was built before the family arrived and that he lived in smaller conditions out west. He was just 11 when his parents built the first box for him. He said Timothy Ferreter was the one who enforced the rules in the house. Wow. He said, when cross-examined by his father's lawyer, the boy called keeping him in a box a mistake. I believe they weren't trying to do any harm. I believe that people should recognize that this was a mistake and should forgive them and move on. Almost sounds like the kid is still traumatized, unfortunately. How horrible. Because, like, that is just disgusting. It really is. To keep your child in an 8x8 box like a prisoner or like an animal is horrible. Gambler says, I think the boy will ask them to go lightly on him. Possibly. I know. He's just a child though, Candy. I don't, he could still have like Stockholm syndrome. Like he may have something like that where he still loves and cares about his abusers. It's pretty common with kids that have that happen to them. It's not a thing that is unheard of. Yeah, all right. So that's happening on Thursday, is it, Gambler? They're going to be sentenced. That'll be very interesting. We may cover that on Thursday then. If I can find a better link for it. Not that one, not this one, not this one. All right, not that one either. Why is it I can never find the things I want? All right. There we go. The boy also admitted his parents locked him away in a response to his own behavior. He admitted to stealing, hacking into school computers, and trying to give his 4-year-old brother beer to see if it was bad for him. It looks like a couple of times you're kind of doing things, and regardless of what you're doing, you're not stopping. Is that fair to say? A lawyer asked. The boy replied, yes. One of his 3 siblings, a sister who was also adopted, got on the stand and confirmed much of what the boy said about his treatment and living conditions. Before Wednesday's testimony wrapped, the jury of 6 plus 3 alternates saw several videos from inside the garage. Scenes they watched included Timothy Ferriter installing the camera, his interactions with the boy, and what the boy did when he was left alone inside. That would be a very heartbreaking trial to be a part of, for real. It says here he has several behavioral disorders, and yeah, he was a kid with a lot of challenges, unfortunately. There's Tracy and Timothy Ferriter. Horrible. I hate to see kids treated like that. Let me see what you guys are saying. Hey, Candy Williams, good to see you. All right. All right. Let's get one more story for the night. Let's see if I can find one more for you. Something interesting. I still find that lady quite funny. This one. Look out for her. She is the Grey Nomad Wedding Stealer. That's her paper name. All right. Oh, wow. I didn't know this one. A Michigan girl with PTSD has been missing for nearly 2 weeks. This young woman here. And what does it say? It says Michigan police have asked for the public's help in locating a 14-year-old who has been missing for nearly 2 weeks. It's reported that India Green was last seen in Detroit on November 2nd. Police said Green refused to come home after staying at a friend's house. Green's mother told police that her teen daughter has PTSD. Green was described at 5 foot 3 inches tall, weighing 100 pounds and having brown eyes and black hair, and she wears her hair in a bun. Anyone with information about her whereabouts should contact Detroit Police Department 10th Precinct at 313-596-1001. That's very sad. I hope they find her. I really do. That's a very young age to be just hanging out on the streets by yourself. It really is. Yeah. If she has PTSD, you'd think that she would have trouble being away from her home too. Like somewhere where she wasn't felt safe. Because home is normally the safe zone for people like that. Moonlight View says she's probably wearing clothes she stole at the weddings from the dressing rooms. Maybe. Fluffy Muffin says she should ditch weddings and go for funerals. Well, there's not normally money at funerals, is there? People don't leave gifts at wakes or anything, do they? I don't think so. Not that I remember. Or not that I know of. You know, at least I'm not sure, but You guys are very funny. Harley said, didn't the dad get a plea offered and he refused to do 2 years? Yeah, he rejected a plea, I think, in September, and he refused. So maybe he thinks he's got a good shot at not guilty or something like that. I'm not sure. Emily Nub, good to see you. All right, what time is it? We started at 1. Okay, we can have one more story for the night. All right, hold on. Encore, ping, encore. Did any of you go back and watch Dateline about Rex Heuermann? Says here Rex Heuermann's wife visits him in jail, plans to attend his trial. I mean, I don't get it. Is she also got a Stockholm syndrome thing? I mean, I do not understand why she's visiting him. She's supposed to be divorcing him. It says here, accused Long Island serial killer Rex Heuermann's wife says she plans to attend his upcoming murder trial in New York to see for herself what evidence will be presented against him. Daily Mail reports that Asa Ellerup's lawyer, Robert Macedono, confirmed that Ellerup, who filed for divorce against Heuermann earlier this year, wants to gain first-hand insight into the case by watching the presentation of allegations and testimony at trial. She wants to see and hear how it is played out in court, not what the media has put out, not what the podcast people are saying. She wants to hear and see for herself what is presented in court. What's wrong with the podcast people? What did we do to you? Police arrested Heuermann in July for the deaths of 3 of the 4 women known collectively as the Gilgo Four. The bodies were found within days of each other on Gilgo Beach in December 2010. All 4 women were found buried in burlap sacks. There's a photo of Asa with her children. It says here, Ellerup made her first visit to see Heuermann at the Riverhead Correctional Facility earlier this month. She said she hasn't seen him in person since the day before his arrest, and their 2 adult children did not accompany her. They said she's doing fine, she's holding up well. She had a visit with Rex on Wednesday afternoon and spent about an hour with him. Her lawyer said, I did not get into a discussion about what the content of the conversation was. It's the same as every other visitor. She has to go through the same routine. 1-hour visit. There is no special treatment for Rex as any other prisoner. She made her reservation for the visitation just like everyone else does through the sheriff's office. Okay. I don't know. And then there was witnesses recently who said that she was around during one of his sexcapades that he had at his house. So I don't know what to believe in some of it. Your mama says poor lady is just in denial. Could be. Beth B says stand by your man. Yeah. Jojo says she had better go get a job. Well, she got that GoFundMe, right? She got, how much money was that GoFundMe for Asa? Did she accept it? I don't even know. I know they did one. I'm not sure if she accepted the money though. Let's have a look. Hold on, let me see here. Let me see if I can find out. Let's find out. It raised $56,000 of the, here, you can see it here. Help Asa Ellerup start a new life. It raised almost 60,000 US dollars. And it's still getting money as of 2 days ago. So she has some money. I don't know how much, how long that will give her. But yeah. Fluffy Muffin says, bet Rex is telling her they have nothing on him. Probably. Candy Williams says, I think Jefferson's daughter started that GoFundMe for Asa. Yeah, it was someone, right? Someone who had also been the family of someone accused of a crime. Melissa Moore is organizing this fundraiser on behalf of Asa. Yeah, here it is. The happy face killer, Keith Hunter. It says in this article here. Melissa Moore is the daughter of serial killer Keith Hunter Jesperson, who was active in the 1990s. Created the GoFundMe on behalf of Ellerup so that the accused Long Island murderer's wife can start a new life. I mean, I get it. But you'd almost want to do that after the trial where all the information comes out, at least my opinion. Let's have a look. Your mama says, has GoFundMe to start new life, then goes to court. Yeah, that is interesting. I mean, I would do it after the court case, so you have the complete information, right? Diane Marie says their house was already a mess. According to neighbors, that is correct. I mean, you can see it from the outside. It's had no uptake or anything like that. I cannot wait for this case to go to court. And if I lived in New York, I would definitely go. I want to see justice for the girls, for the women. I really do. I feel terrible about murder victims, especially the ones who are prostitutes or sex workers, because often they are just swept aside and not given the same investigative resources that other women get. And I want nothing more than to see their cases closed and have someone held accountable for it. So it'll be a good trial. I cannot wait. Gambler says, I haven't checked into Caitlin Armstrong yet today. Anything interesting? I haven't been following that one very strongly. I know other channels have, but I haven't. I think the last update I saw was a few days ago. A week ago was the last time I saw anything about Caitlin Armstrong. Let's have a look. This was one of the last articles posted here.
This week, we saw prosecutors attempting to paint the picture of a jealous girlfriend and a defense attorney trying to cast doubt. A lot has happened so far in the murder trial for Caitlin Armstrong. She is accused of killing her perceived romantic rival, pro cyclist Anna Mariah Wilson. In May of 2022, Wilson was visiting when she was shot to death at her friend's home in East Austin. The two women knew each other through Armstrong's on-again, off-again boyfriend, Colin Strickland, who is also a pro cyclist.
The last thing Mo did on this earth was scream in terror.
Not one witness saw Caitlin Armstrong allegedly commit this murder.
And the jury has been shown much of the crime scene evidence, including DNA samples, blood spatters, and surveillance video. It was an Austin police detective's first homicide case, and the defense has been trying to poke holes in the handling of the case. Now, one of the most anticipated witnesses, Colin Strickland, testified for 2 days. He discussed his relationships with both Armstrong and Wilson, and he was one of the last people to see Wilson alive the day she was murdered. No cameras are allowed in the courtroom, but Fox 7 reporters Carissa Lemcole and Meredith Aldis have been inside for every moment, and both of you have done a great job of, giving us the play-by-play, the rundown of what has been going on. Carissa, I want to start with you because we've seen Strickland outside of the courtroom, agitated, confrontational with the media at times, but what was his behavior inside of the courtroom?
inside the courtroom, he also seemed very agitated, very exhausted, upset. A lot of times he was speaking very softly. They told him to speak up multiple times. One of the days he had his hand kind of over the right or the left side of his face rather, and was kind of resting on it. It almost looked like his eyes were closed. So I don't know if it was just he was physically exhausted, trying to show a little rebellion at having to be there. I will point out that, like you mentioned, he testified for 2 days, hours of testimony, and a lot of that was people asking him about very personal things, going through his texts with Wilson and Armstrong, asking him about interactions with women. So I'm sure that contributed as well to the behavior we saw.
I don't recall seemed to be a recurring phrase that he did say.
He did use that a lot. I'm not sure a lot of the time if he truly didn't recall or if that was just kind of a way to get out of answering the question. It was hard to say, but we heard that phrase a lot.
All right. Meredith, there was a manhunt for Armstrong. She was eventually tracked down to Costa Rica, where prosecutors say she was hiding out. What evidence was found there that they say is going to help in this case?
Yeah, when they found her, arrested her, they say she had a bandage.
I say that anyone who runs away to Costa Rica, it doesn't paint themselves in a positive light. I think it makes you look very, suspicious at the minimum. This is from Fox News 7, and I will give you the link after it's finished. It's got a couple minutes to go.
Over her nose, she had swollen lips, she had changed the color of her hair to a darker hair color, and then in her belongings was her sister's passport that was stamped on May 18th, her passport with no stamp, and then a receipt for cosmetic surgery underneath a different name, Allison Page. So the prosecution is claiming she went to Costa Rica to hide out, and then she tried to change her appearance once she was there.
Yeah, she did look remarkably different once she was captured. Carissa, Strickland was the one who had a past relationship with Wilson, not Armstrong. Detectives even looked into Wilson's ex-boyfriend. So why did police then rule out the men and zero in on Armstrong?
Well, that was a question that the defense was asking. They asked that specifically of Detective Spittler. He was the lead investigator on the case. He seemed to jump quickly to Armstrong, and they brought up two other men that were close to Wilson. Alan Lim, I believe is how you say his name, a close friend, and then her ex-boyfriend, Gunnar Shaw. They asked, well, why didn't you pursue these more as persons of interest or suspects? The detective admitted that he didn't call either of these men until July, which was after he had already issued that arrest warrant for Caitlin Armstrong, called her a suspect in Wilson's murder. He did say both of the men, though, when he talked to them, they did have alibis. They are on the state's witness list. So we're thinking maybe we'll get to hear from them and hear their side in the coming weeks.
All right. Meredith, video from before the trial shows Armstrong trying to escape while she had been in custody for months and months. This happened just last month. Has this been brought up in the trial, and could it impact her defense?
Yeah, it hasn't been brought up yet, but the judge at the very beginning of the trial said that it could be discussed. So we definitely expect to hear about it. I'm sure the prosecution will be thrilled to talk about the defense. We'll see what their defense is. But yeah, the attorneys I've spoken to are speculating this trial is more of a punishment case and a win, maybe just beating the state's offer with a lighter sentence. But that attempted escape could be stacked onto this murder case. So if the jury does come back with a guilty verdict and the punishment case begins, attorneys I've talked to say there could be fireworks.
And again, all of this is just from week one of Armstrong's murder trial, and testimony picks up again on Monday, correct?
Monday morning, we'll be there.
All right, we'll have it all.
People are asking, is she related to Lance Armstrong? But I don't think so. I mean, in cycling and all that, wouldn't you think that would be a huge deal? I mean, yeah, I don't know. But the fact she got plastic surgery, it's almost like she went online and went to wiki how to run away from, how to hide or run away from a crime. And it was like, take a backpack full of stuff and your ID and your fake ID, and then go to another country and get plastic surgery and change your appearance and, dye your hair and wear a cap low so no one can identify your face. It's a bit weird. She looks guilty as hell, and I know that doesn't mean anything. It's innocent until proven guilty, but geez, she made herself look very, very suspicious, didn't she? Let me see if I have anything else on her. I don't think so. I think they were supposed to be back in court this morning, if I am remembering correctly. Let me look. I thought she was supposed to be back in court today. The murder trial of Caitlin Armstrong. Let me have a look here. It says here, the Caitlin Armstrong trial live. Mariah Wilson's photos stored on suspect's phone before murder. So it did continue today. And it says here, Miss Armstrong is facing trial in Austin over the 2022 May 11th murder of Wilson, who prosecutors have described as her love rival. That's a weird way of saying it. They said key players in deadly love triangle at center of trial. Is there anything else new today? Parents hear testimony about bullets used in the murder. Bullets shown in court are labeled in manila envelopes as part of the murder case. Some of the bullets have red and brownish stains, while another is bagged with a piece of hair. From a forensic medical examiner, maybe? Yeah, forensic expert claims he explains tests carried out with weapons that they seized. Okay, so they did their weapons stuff today. Yeah, they did witness recounts firing at a range with Caitlin Armstrong. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff from today. The trial resumed today, this morning, and it looks like it went all day till about 4:41. Says here court was adjourned on Thursday night and procedure was paused on Friday in observance of Veterans Day. So then they came back. Is that right? Or was Veterans Day today on Monday? Maybe it was today. And maybe it's going to come back tomorrow. Maybe that's what they're saying on here. Maybe. I always get the public holidays wrong, guys. Harley says they probably would have said if she's her child. Yeah, I agree. I think if it was related to Lance Armstrong, it would have been a huge deal. It would have been everywhere, and he would have been like seen for comment and stuff. Your mama says, "Oh yeah, I forgot about her attempted escape. She really messed up. She is done for." Yeah, you saw that video at the end where she tried to run. Was that her trying to run and the cop was trying to catch her? It yeah, almost looks like a comedy sketch. It really does. All right. Do you guys want one more before we go? One more before we wrap up for the night? What time is it? Yeah, 2:24. We can do one more. It'll make it, we did an hour and a half tonight. That sounds good. All right. What about missing Texas woman found dead in man's home? This guy has the crazy eyes. Look at his eyes. He definitely has the I'm not all there eyes, for sure. It says here the body of a missing Texas woman was found Sunday morning at a house in McKinney. Police said Heather Louise Schwab, 35, had been reported missing, but provided no further information. 35-year-old Heather Louise Schwab, they said information led them to apply for a search warrant for the home of Chad Christopher Stevens, 42. They found the body and arrested Stevens, charging him with tampering with evidence and an assault causing bodily injury. But no murder? Police said the investigation was in its early stages and asked anyone with information to call Detective Monty Robinson at 972-547-2724. Hold on. Let's look up this name. Here. 3 hours ago. Okay. That's a bit better.
Asking for help to determine what led to the death of a young mother. Police found Heather Schwab's body during a search Sunday morning. We know her boyfriend is the man police arrested during the search. NBC5's Maria Guerrero has new information.
Heather Louise Schwab was 35, a daughter, sister, and a mother. Her worried family reported her missing recently and is now mourning her loss. Schwab's family telling NBC5, "We are beyond grief-stricken and brokenhearted. We appreciate all the thoughts and prayers that our family is receiving." Schwab's body found Sunday morning during a search of this house along Pearson Avenue near downtown McKinney. Stunned neighbors waking to an armored police vehicle, crime scene investigators dressed in white, and their longtime neighbor, Chad Christopher Stevens, in handcuffs. McKinney police say a tip led them to 601 Pearson. Investigators removed several items and dug up the backyard. Though police aren't saying where on the property her body was found. The man arrested, her boyfriend. 42-year-old Stevens is charged with tampering with evidence with the intent to alter or destroy a human corpse.
Como que no era normal el señor.
The consensus from neighbors is that Stevens was not normal, was very odd. He'd often sit outside or hose down the street in the middle of the night. One neighbor says a city code inspector was at the house just a few weeks ago. According to the sheriff's office, Stevens has been arrested 24 times in Collin County. These are just some of his mugshots dating back to 2007. Arrested for theft, DWI, assault, engaging in criminal activity, and parole violation. His home seeing no major
Did you see his mugshot? Look at this.
activity on Monday.
Let me just pause that. Let me see if it'll play it again. Look at this. And then you can see him age. And in the final one from yesterday or today, he has no more hair. He had hair, and now he has the crazy eyes. Didn't have crazy eyes here, but he does now, and he has no hair. So killers have crazy eyes and no hair, apparently.
Dispelling a rumor alleging this case involves more than one missing female. Not true. Heather Schwab's family expressing their appreciation, saying, "We are so grateful to the McKinney Police Department for their hard work and dedication in finding Heather."
McKinney police say they are still trying to piece everything together in this investigation. They are urging anyone with information, whether it be small or big, to please contact them. In McKinney, Maria Guerrero.
It's really weird. It's a weird case, that one. The fact that they won't say why or how or where her body was or how they knew it was there. It says her family shared photographs and a statement with NBC5 stating, "Her family is beyond grief-stricken and brokenhearted. We appreciate all the thoughts and prayers that our family is receiving. We are so grateful to the McKinney Police Department for their hard work and dedication in finding Heather. We would appreciate privacy for her and her children as we process through this devastating time." Police discovered the young mother's body during a search warrant executed Sunday morning at a house near downtown McKinney. Neighbors report waking to see heavily armed police, an armored vehicle, and crime scene investigators dressed in white jumpsuits, and their longtime neighbor Chad Stevens in handcuffs. The department spokesman said Monday the investigation is in its early stages and additional details will be withheld, but confirmed a tip led them to 601 Pearson Avenue. Investigators spent hours removing potential evidence from the house and dug up much of the backyard, though police will not say exactly where Schwab's body was found on the property. Her family confirms Stevens was her boyfriend. He is charged with felony tampering with evidence with intent to alter or destroy a human corpse. That must be a holding charge, because there's no charge of murder. His bond is at $150,000. I find it interesting that all his neighbors thought that he was not normal and odd. One neighbor, for example, told NBC5 he would often sit outside or hose down the street in the middle of the night. Maybe he thought the concrete needed watering? I don't know. Marilyn Landis said the evil coming out aged him. Apparently so. Apparently that is exactly what happened. I don't know. It's very sad. I feel sorry for her family. The fact that they've lost their daughter. It's horrible. It really is. It looks like you all get an early mark tonight. And normally Trish would be coming on right now. But you guys get to go to bed a little early tonight. So that's a positive one. How did you all find the 9 p.m. show? Do you prefer this time? Is this better for everyone? Rather than going on at midnight? I hope you find this 9 p.m. show a lot easier to attend or be here live. That would be really good. I would appreciate it. And it's nice to see some other people here that I haven't seen before. That's always good. What? Geez, okay. It's parcels upon parcels upon parcels. Two Broke says, is Trish not on again tonight? Yeah, Trish is not here tonight at all. She'll be back tomorrow, I think. I don't know for sure, but I was told that she's not doing a show tonight at all. Okay, everyone likes it. That's good. Oh, your mama says, I'm always watching on my other name on the TV. I just don't go in the chat. Well, your mama, it was good to see you tonight in the chat. I'm glad that you watch on the TV, though. That is really cool, and I very much appreciate it. All right, I think we're going to wrap up. And, yeah, Trisha's not on tonight, guys. I did the show for you anyway. So I tried to do a longer show, fit in more stories than just do 1 hour, because I knew she wasn't coming on. I got told beforehand, so yeah, there you go. But we're going to wrap up. I appreciate everyone coming in tonight. Robin Lane, Your Mama Gambler, Candy Williams, Woos, Emily Narb, Beth B, Moonlight View, thank you for moderating. I appreciate it. Diane Marie, Two Broke, Fluffy Muffin, and Laura T was here. A whole bunch of people were here. Yeah, it's very, very kind of you all for being here tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night about the same time, 9 p.m. Eastern. And then, yeah, we'll keep going at the 9 p.m. time until we can't do it anymore, which will probably be next winter, Australian winter. We'll have to go back to the old time. Yep, good night, everyone. Get an early sleep tonight. And then, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Again, yes, Mercy, Harley. Good night. See you later. Have fun. Bye-bye.